So now that's me, that's you guys, and we'll just pop over to this one. Hello, we're here. We're live to no one.
Yay.
But
Oh,
hey,
To the internet.
no one's watching.
I'm pretty sure there's 2 viewers, and I'm pretty sure it's just me and John. So but like this like goes up on YouTube. I put them up on YouTube and stuff. So and I'm not cool enough to know how to edit VODs and like edit video and stuff. So when they go up, it's usually just the whole Twitch VOD. So yeah, we're waiting for Sam, and then we're gonna play Blades in the Dark, and I'm excited about it.
Whoop.
Yeah. Let's see. Old tips. Everybody in the club getting tipsy.
It's a lot of tips. I got some hot tips for this game.
Hot tips.
You you do know a lot about playing this game.
Yeah, I don't have my 10,000 hours, but I got at least 10 hours, so...
Yeah, I mean, we played this game for a year.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, we started off doing, 4-hour sessions? And then we, like...
It was like 3 or 4.
Yeah, I think we ended up doing 3, but I think our first couple we were trying to do 4. How young and inexperienced we were.
Did we really?
Yeah, we did.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember
we shortened that. Oh yeah, because it was like we started at like 6 or 7 and went until like 10 or 11, right?
Yep.
Jeez, that was ambitious.
I mean, that was like our first time playing the system, and it was my first time GMing. So like, I didn't know anything. We were young and unafraid, to quote Monster Prom.
Absolutely.
Sam, please.
Hey, Sam. Is 8 almost 30?
Yeah, right. Sam, please.
Please.
Please, Sam. Where is this boy?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What I want to do is add present.
Riveting content.
This is top quality right here.
I'm trying to fix Roll20.
You do any tricks or anything? Magic tricks?
Ten out of 10.
Hey, it's something to watch on Twitch, right?
Yeah, totally.
Just watch Ninja for hours.
Pass.
No,
Yeah.
thanks.
How does...
Hard pass.
No, I can't. Yeah, no, can't. I like.
Yeah, what if we all start playing Fortnite instead?
No.
Nah.
No.
I mean,
Apex.
Yeah, if we were gonna play anything, we'd play Apex. But like, nah.
Have you guys played Apex yet?
I've played exactly one game of Apex.
Was it fun?
It seems okay. I would love to play it more, but here's the thing: is that you need to have it's all set up and balanced to be in groups of 3, and if you're not in a group of 3, then it like pairs you up with random people, and random people playing battle royales is a demographic I have zero interest in interacting with.
That's fair.
I would play more Apex if I had multiple people to play it with. But as far as I know, the only other person I know who plays it is my good friend John DeBlood. And we don't have a third person to play. So here we are.
Oh.
Hey, it's
I
our
could do
guy.
In my ear.
Hello. Hey.
There
Do
it
the
is.
French drop.
Here.
The French drop. This is how you do the French drop.
No.
The what?
The French drop.
All right.
Here's how you drop it, and you just carry it down.
Cool. Hi, Sam.
It's a little penguin.
Yeah.
Samuel. Samantha.
Sam.
Samwise.
Sammy.
I'm pretty sure y'all are heckling me, but I
Sam.
can't hear it. So give me a minute.
He knows us so well.
Oh, there it is. That's why. There I am. Okay. Sorry, I'm alive, guys. I promise.
Ugh.
Nice.
Unbelievable, this guy.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's-
I'm an asshole. This is what I do.
The nerd.
It's good. All right, as long as you are safe and not dead somewhere.
No,
That's
we are not dead, and I don't think I actually need anything character-wise, so I think we're all good.
Yeah, I think we're
Cool.
set.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Excuse
yeah.
me.
So oh, I just realized that all of the overlays are our
Strahd
our
game.
Strahd.
At least Sam's
characters. Is it?
Right.
Whatever. I'll fix that during like intro stuff.
Yeah.
So we're playing Blades in the Dark today because Jim is away on vacation, so we can't play our Waterdeep campaign, and we have a cool guest. We have Marissa joining us for the first time on the channel.
Hi,
Hello.
Marissa.
And
Hello.
she's a cool friend, and she's gonna play Blades with us, which is a thing that some of us have played a bunch, and some of us have never played before. So that's dope.
Super.
So let's start off, and we can do this while I go through and fix the overlays. Let's have everybody go through and introduce their characters. So give us like what playbook you're playing, and like what your race and your background is, and like sort of like what you look like, and
The D&D
and all that stuff.
thing,
Yeah. Sam, I'm gonna put
Yes.
you on the spot. You're gonna start. 'Cause
No
you
problem.
relate.
It's fine. I actually have a great character. So my character is Colin K.O. Pugiles. Now, I decided to play from the Cutter book this time. For anybody who follows our good boy The Frog is Dead and watched any of the last one, I played a spider. And that was super cool, but I couldn't punch things. So now I want to punch things. He is a Scovlin? Is that how I'm pronouncing that right?
Scovel.
Okay, it is Scovlin.
Goblin.
He's a Scovlin
He's the Green Goblin.
male. He's a Scovlin professional fighter in the circuit. And he is a jacked boy who has fallen into the world of the criminals because, well, yeah, he can make money winning fights and doing all that stuff. Sometimes it's just not enough, and there's just more fun and intrigue and silliness when you steal people and do that.
All right, cool. Who would like to go next?
I'll talk about tips.
Go for it.
I got some tips for you.
Okay.
Tell me about your tips.
Uh-oh.
She
I
didn't
said I
want to
can
hear the tips.
I can see Tips's sheet. I love it.
Yeah, Tips is a leech, which means that he's a kind of like a tinker, kind of like fiddles with things and builds stuff, and like can blow stuff up and etc. Tips used to be a dock worker. I guess he still kind of is. He's kind of like a day laborer. But he's really scrawny. He's like got kind of gangly arms, and like he's like in his 40s, and he's got like salt and pepper hair and beard, and he's just like seen a bunch of shit, and he's kind of tired of it. But he's like always kind of picking things up and looking at them and like not breaking them, just like kind of pulling them apart and like just fiddling and fidgeting. Everybody on the docks calls him Tips because of him picking things up all the time and just fiddling with things. He's got like stained like black fingers, like smoky powders and like weird stuff. He's got like chemical stains and scars and like just shit all over his hands. So everybody's like, all right, there goes Tips. And he's kind of a drunk, which in his profession is not great when you have to be very delicate. But
Sorry,
but you know, he
it's
makes
fine.
do.
Things
He
are
makes
fine.
do. He takes jobs at the docks, and he helps to like. He's kind of like a maintenance guy. He'll like fix the trolleys and dollies and stuff that carry the cargo around, and he'll make sure that like the pulleys and everything work so that you can like load shit on and off the boats. And there he is. He's just around, and
Nice.
yeah, he does that. And he hangs at bars, and now he does crime.
Hell
No,
yeah.
he's just the
Now he's a crime boy.
No, he's a
No,
crime
the
boy.
crimiest boy.
Cool. John, you want to go next?
Yeah.
Cool.
My guy's name is Langdon Fuse. He's got thick, dark, wavy hair with the sideburns and a sick stash. He is basically the prodigal son of a noble man and woman. He's gone around the city just kind of partying and drinking and drugging. And that's it. And he goes by Duke.
Cool.
Okay.
Nice. And Marissa.
So I am playing Camille Basara, who I envision as a young, slender, dark-skinned, I would say Middle Eastern man. He's a student. He's an academic. He does not drink or do drugs. He's a whisperer. He is very maintains an air of kind of control and a demeanor of like kind of having a good understanding, a good grasp of the world around him, for better or for worse. And he goes by the nickname Flay.
You
Nice.
say Flay,
Flay.
like
Cool.
the Iron Chef.
It may have something to do with his vice. I
As,
don't know.
as in Bobby Flay.
Yeah.
Bobby Flay.
Is
As rend flesh off of one's bones. So
indeed.
Yikes.
Right. What
Dark.
Bobby Flay is known for.
Exactly.
he's basically expert at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
Is your background Eruvian, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make
Hell
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Aruvian-
Important piece of Eruvian lore, just so that you know.
yeah.
In the Eruvian language, there's one word for like window and door and like kind of thing. It translates roughly to like wall hole, but there's really no distinction. Some are just larger and smaller than others.
What?
John's
Yes.
John,
Just so
John,
That
you
is
know.
actually now canon, by the way. That
John's
is the
throwing John's throwing back to a goof from our first campaign where he played an Eruvian whisperer who only ever entered and exited places through windows.
Oh,
Sometimes it's through doors, but it's mostly through windows.
awesome.
So all right, so y'all want a premise?
Let's go with the premise.
Yeah.
I'm
absolutely.
gonna give you guys a premise, and then I'm gonna ask y'all a bunch of questions, which is gonna set us into the middle of a situation. We'll see how that situation goes. So you guys are small time. You guys are no names, like just getting into this whole underworld game.
Yep.
You've actually you've been together. You've known each other for like, I don't know, like a week or two. You've kind of been doing like the random odd jobs here and there. And the person you've been getting jobs from is a bounty hunter named Carlos. He has been like feeding you guys some information and some like scores and stuff. So you've done like one or two jobs together. And he's currently tasked you with infiltrating an area to receive a document. And the document is going to provide information for a target that you guys may or may not have to at some point eliminate. So you guys are currently in the basement of some sort of facility. So my first question is and we can go each person answers one question, and we'll just kind of like go around until we've got our scenario. And
Sure.
you know, feel free to kind of like go in whatever direction you want. There's no like pre-planning here. So question number 1 is, what kind of facility are you in? Anyone have any ideas?
There's a target, you said?
You're trying to you're recovering like a document that'll have information leading to a target.
Okay.
And we're gonna say for the purposes of this, like for like coming in like in media res type thing, you guys have acquired the document. So you're in the basement of this whatever this facility is, and you've acquired the document. So yeah, so the first question is, what is it? Is it like a hideout for a rival gang? Is it a like an inn or a tavern, or is it like a noble's estate?
I'm gonna throw out it. You can go ahead, Melissa. I'll let you take it away.
Go ahead. No.
I was gonna say, I just thinking about what we have for a career. So I see a student, a dock worker, a rich boy, and a fighter. And I'm thinking, what kind of things would tie them together? And I'm kind of thinking that the rich boy there would probably have us as
well you have a handler who's given you this job.
Well, that's what I'm thinking is
yeah.
But I mean, like, I'm thinking of all the things that connect us together, probably something with another noble seems reasonable, because of all the things that would probably guide us, that sounds like something that would connect these four seemingly lower end people together.
Cool. Yeah, so you guys are starting off in the basement of some noble's estate that you've infiltrated.
So we've infiltrated the basement in order to get the document that we already have, or we have the document where
you were tasked with infiltrating this noble's estate to
get the document.
To get the document. So up until this point, presumably you have somehow managed to get in, locate the document, and that's kind of like where we're going to start. So that leads to my second question, which is, how did you get to this point? Were you sneaky about it? Did you like sneak through, and like was there like a secret passage? Did you use some like weird magic shit? Did you like fight your way in, or like hire a bunch of goons to like fight your way in? Like what did you do to
Would the noble son have kind of
connections?
Maybe, like been like, these guys are with me. We're all
so we're in somebody's basement, basically.
Yeah.
So like, perhaps it is a family friend of mine invited to a party.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I brought my chums because I can do what I want. Because fuck you, I got monies.
Hell yeah! All right. I'm going to have you make a roll, John.
Okay.
We're gonna have our first roll, and we're going to see how well this went, and if so based on the result, everything's like gone fine up until this point. if you succeed, and if you fail, then, or if you like get like a complication or something, then people were a little suspicious. They like let you do it, but So why don't you go ahead and make a fortune roll, which is on your character sheet. There's the ability to roll fortune.
Yes.
Fortune.
Good old fortune rolls.
It's all the way on the right side.
Yeah.
All the way on the right side.
All the way
underneath your friends, your clever friends.
Oh, roll fortune. Number of dice.
We'll call it 2.
2.
Yeah. Because you've got the hookup, you've got the connection. Input
value notes. Oh, no.
You can put like anything just to like kind of like note what it is. So you can say like how well did
sneaky roll or something.
Sneaking happen or whatever.
Getting to the basement.
Yeah, getting to basement.
Damn! Hey. Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's the crits.
So just so we're
good omens.
So we're all clear about the way that this works is that this is a D6 system, so you only roll however many D6, and depending on the highest number that you roll on the faces of any of those D6s, that determines the success. So if you get a 6, then you succeed with no complications. If you get a 5 to a 3, then you succeed, but there's a complication. And if you get a 2 or a 1, then you fail. But when you get 2 6s, let me tell you, when you get 2 6s, that in the business is what we call a crit. So
that's that nat 20 for those.
So yeah, so this is like the equivalent of like a D&D nat 20 when you get two things. So it went perfectly. So as of right now, like up into this point that we're currently going to start in, everything has gone like perfect. Like you've managed to like get your buds in, no one's really questioned it. Your buds have also like done a good job of like blending in and like playing their part up until this point.
Tips is wearing gloves,
There you go.
so it's not obvious.
Which brings me to the next question, and this is the fun part. What went wrong? What has gone wrong at this point? We're coming in media res in a moment where something has gone wrong.
Well,
Go
one
on.
of us is an alcoholic, right?
Hey,
You're
someone maybe have a
leading
little
into
too much
the
to drink?
you're leading into the next question, which is whose fault was it?
Okay.
Hi. Well, I was gonna throw myself under the bus, but I'm glad you are.
All right.
Yeah.
So okay. So Marissa answered that question. So I'll ask you then, John. What went wrong?
Tips got a little tipsy,
Okay.
and in doing so, like bumped into something like a bookcase or I don't know, like maybe like a vase shattered, like fell
Yeah.
to the ground and
Yeah.
crashed.
Totally.
There's like a something broke, and you're like, oh
Right.
shit, that's
So yeah.
and then
so,
somebody is kind of being like, hey, what the hell? What's going on down there?
Yeah, no, so that's perfect. So here's our opening scene is you guys, we get like kind of like a like kind of like montage during the intro scene of like you guys getting the mission and like getting the address, and we get like the cool like, you know, Duke kind of like smooth talking the bouncer out front and getting you guys in. We get like some party, some shots of you guys like in the party, kind of like mingling and like, you know, having a good old time. But then in the background of all of them is just like Tip just like drinking.
Every single shot,
in every
he's
every
like
shot,
scooping another drink. He's like,
yeah.
one back.
And so we like kind of like cut in, and like you guys have smooth talked and you guys have like determined that like the basement of this house, one of the rooms in the basement is like the owner's study, which is where he presumably keeps this document that Carlos, your handler, has asked you to acquire. So we see you go in and kind of like perusing and everything, and we see who's the one who finds it. Who wants to volunteer to be the person who finds it?
Who finds the paper?
The
document?
paper, yeah.
I think it should be the sneak, but that's me.
We can do
Should
that.
be who?
Yeah, John.
I'm the sneaky boy. I'm the
Yeah,
lucky
so-
man.
Well, you probably have lockpicking abilities given that, so you would probably be able to break into whatever is there. So I would assume you would.
Maybe. So either way, we see one of you kind of like hold up this document and be like, aha, I think that's it. And in that moment, like we get like the title card that's like Blades in the Dark, and like the screen goes black and it says Blades in the Dark, and then there's like a loud crashing sound. And when we come back from the title card flash, we see a vase on the ground, and Tip, you are standing right there. You're muted.
Tips is standing right there trying to like open a drawer that's like locked and like not opening, and so in like pulling it too hard, like shaking the desk, the vase fell. And he's like hasn't even noticed. He's just like, God, I bet it's in here. I know that it's in here. It's definitely it's got to be in this drawer.
I would like to make a Keo will kind of come over, like see that happening and immediately come over, and I'm gonna throw a command at Tip and be like, "Oi, Tip, stop creating a havoc for yourself. I need you over here. I need you to take some pictures and get some autographs for me. Come on, let's go."
What?
I mean, you don't have to roll
don't
a
have to-
command. You can
yeah.
just say that.
I mean, well, no, because the idea. Okay. There's a mechanic I'll talk to you about later then, but that I don't understand, but we'll get into it when we need it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I'll
well,
yell at them and try to pull them. Yeah.
Sure, but we gotta get the document, man. We got
No, don't you? Yeah, I know. We gotta get the document for my next fight. Come on, we gotta go talk to this guy over here. Let's go. And he kind of puts his arm around him and looks kind of over his shoulder at the vase as if like, please don't let that be $1 million.
In that moment, we hear from like somewhere off screen, we hear a door creak and we hear someone say like, "Well, is everything all right down there?" And like you hear footsteps kind of like coming down the stairs.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's just the KO. I'm giving someone the KOs, you know.
Can I jump in and try to
absolutely.
calm this guy down and kind of steer him away? I don't have the best charisma, but I have a little bit of finesse, so I'm gonna try to like just talk him out of it and just be
that's gonna be under resolve 1 though.
Well, so what do you so you want to try to like talk
him out of it?
Oh yes.
Okay.
I don't know if that's something I can do.
It is.
Well, so let me pull up.
So everybody can do everything. All of
do everything.
All of those abilities. Essentially, what the red dots mean are like how good you are at doing it. If you have no dots, it means that you roll 2 dice and you take whatever the lower number is.
Okay.
But you can still do everything. It just shows that like you're like not that great at it, but you can, you know.
Okay. So what does 1 dot mean then?
It means that you would roll 1d6 if you wanted to like roll that.
And you get whatever that result is.
Yeah.
But then if I have no dots, I roll 2d6.
You roll 2,
and then you roll the lowest.
2 and take the lower of the 2.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Because normally
disadvantage.
Similar.
Yeah.
Because normally the way the system works is you roll a number of dice and then whatever the highest value of all of them is, that's the answer, rather than like totaling them all up.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, no dots means you just take the lower one.
Got you.
So you wanna so if you wanted to like talk to like try to like come out of the room and like head off this guy that's like on his way to like discover like what's going on, you could roll like a
certainly try.
You could. It would be like a consort or a command or something like that. It would be like a social roll.
Yeah. So any of those you can choose whichever one you want to do. So if you have a dot in say command or sway, you can choose to I'm going to sway them away, or I'm going to yell at them and demand that they get out. You know, however you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This kind of game like narrative is kind of that's the focus, and so like how are you doing it? What are you gonna say?
Well, I kind of just want to be since I fancy myself a proper gentleman student, even though I'm like a child. I want to kind of go in and try to make myself seem like I'm in control, or I'm in charge, and I'm just gonna keep everything calm and just be like, "Oh, sir, this party is wonderful. We're having such a wonderful time. Please, can you show me upstairs?" And just distract him.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. So you want to roll what skill are you looking for?
I guess that would be sway, but I don't really have it. I don't have anything in sway, but I can try it.
It can be if you have something else, you can use something else. You just have to show us how it's going to be something else.
Well, right. So the only thing I have is the only thing I have points in is attune and consort. As far as resolve is concerned. So
that could be consorting.
It could be consorting in a way.
Consort. What is there? If you I'm gonna scroll over. With connections, background.
That's
friends,
information.
rivals, resources.
Using them to get information about the house, arguably.
Sounds kind of like it's a sway.
Like I would call it a sway,
Alright.
which is fine.
Well.
So so you can click sway.
Okay.
And then it'll do the thing.
It'll give you so you tell me what you want to roll, and I give you a position and effect. So we'll call it for now. We'll call it risky and standard.
Okay.
It's risky because this is like the normal amount of like reward versus consequence. And standard means that like it either like works or it doesn't.
Okay.
So
let me try. No bonus dice, right?
No.
No.
We're not gonna.
Okay.
Oh.
So
Ooh, the one, though.
so you get a 1, so that means that this doesn't work. And so here's what happens is like we kind of like see this guy dressed in this like, you know, kind of like a butler's outfit basically, coming down the stairs saying like, what's going on here? And then what do you say? You come out into like the main area of the basement, and like what do you say to him?
I would basically, I try to be very like proper and be like, oh sir, this party has been lovely. We're enjoying your fine establishment, and just kind of like rambling instead of actually sounding like a sane human being, I guess.
Yeah, and he kind of like comes down and sees you, he like furrows his brow a bit and he says, "Why? What are you doing down here? These areas are off limits. The guests are only permitted until like." And he like kind of like starts to like shove in, like he like kind of like walks past you almost like a you know, walks by, and he like looks into the room, the study, and sees the rest of you.
I would like to knock this dude the crap out.
Yeah.
As in the comedically, like he pokes his head in, and then just immediately you see a fist just come flying at the side of his head.
Yikes. All right.
Um,
That's escalating quickly.
Wow.
But sure, I assume you would like to skirmish.
I would like to throw a skirmish.
Is this like the first time you've ever skirmished in Blades?
No, I skirmished once as Gideon, and it went either really great or awful.
I'm pretty
and I
sure
don't
it went
remember.
poorly.
I think it went horrible, but this is actually one of my strongest points. So I
Yeah,
want to use
totally.
it.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna call this desperate.
I like that.
We'll call it desperate standard.
Okay.
Because if this fails, then like fucking yikes, dude.
Yeah. Do I introduce the pushing ourselves mechanic yet,
You
boys?
can. Sure.
I
Do
would
whatever
like
you want.
I would like to stress and push myself.
Okay. Yeah. So Sam's taking 2 stress here in to give himself a bonus die for his roll. All right. Let's see it.
Risky. Not risky. Go back.
Is desperate.
It is desperate. It went back. Desperate standard.
Yeah.
+1. Show me 3 dice. That's not awful.
All right. So you succeed, but with a consequence. So what is this like? Frame this for me. What does this look like?
So as he goes, "You're not supposed to be in here," and he pokes his head in almost as if he's about to walk in the door. Just out of the blue, this fist and it comes from like he turns his head almost as if it comes in, and then you get the camera from the fist on view, and it's just dude's black.
Yeah, totally.
And there's an instant where it hits him, and he probably does. He like doesn't fall right away, but you know that like, you know, time passes. He probably got what was going on here, and then immediately just conks out.
Right. So what happens is that happens, and he falls over and collapses. So the rest of you see this, and then the camera pans over, and we see 2 more like butlers who were coming down with him, like kind of like looking mouths agape at this situation. And that's the consequence, is that you've attracted more unwanted attention.
Did the 2 new butlers see us
Yes.
yet?
Oh yeah.
Yes, they'll have seen that happen.
They have seen the, at the very least they've seen you, and they've seen KO just like knock this dude flat.
Oof.
So
Oh man, don't know your own strength, my friend. Once again, going for a high five and ruining the moment.
Everybody wants to see what the KO's really got, how that really feels to be in the ring of, and he comes around the corner in front of him. I mean, it's just what it is. People want to see if I could fight like a champ, and sometimes they don't realize I really do hit like a brick wall.
and one of them like they're just kind of like shocked at this, and like you see one of them kind of like start to run up the stairs.
Nope.
And the other one is like, oh my heavens, is he gonna be okay?
He just got the classic KO. He's okay. He'll wake up in an hour or 2.
Can we?
Yeah, can someone deal with
do
him, please?
anything to stop
Yeah.
that guy from running?
Yeah,
It-
someone deal with that.
Steve, dude, I didn't ask before when we made the characters. Do we start with any items or anything?
Oh yeah,
This is a good
so here I'll explain how this works. So when you're in a score, and this is
score.
what you're in the middle of like a score right now. You pick your load, which is, you see it above the items part here. You see like light, normal, and heavy. depending on which one you pick determines how many item slots you have. It also determines how like inconspicuous you are. So if you have a light load, then like you only have 3 item slots, but like that's like it's like a bunch of like you're like able to pass for just like a random citizen, like a passerby or whatever. If you have like a normal load, it kind of looks like you might be up to no good, but like it's kind of passable. And if you have a heavy load, then it like looks like you are like ready to go. Like this is like you
are
know
a criminal.
you're like the very obviously like a fucking adventurer like going through
You have
like walking
the
through town.
striped shirt and a big mask and a big bag with a
Yeah.
money dollar
Yeah.
sign on
I
it.
was-
You
I
are
was gonna-
actually the
like-
Hamburglar.
you're like-
you are
you're-
actually the Hamburglar.
You're like the dude walking through Stormwind and WoW with Thunder Fury, like ready to go. Like, so yeah, so that's how you pick that, and then your item slots, and this is another great thing about this game. You don't have to pick them like right off the bat. You can have 3 item slots, and this is like the point in like shows or like in the movies where like the character pulls like the perfect item for a situation out of their bag.
Your bag.
You can say I have like blank on me, and then you can mark that down like retroactively that you've done that up to your load amount.
Do we have to pick the load before?
No, that's the cool. That's the great
can-
thing about it.
You pick it when you first pick your item, right?
So Camille, I'm looking at your sheet right now, and like let's say that like you had like a light load or something, and a situation arose, and you were like, oh, I kind of wish that I had a blade or 2 on me right now. And so you can in the fiction say I pull out like a blade, I pull out my knife to be able to like attack or like do like do something, and then you can mark down that you have it like that, and then it like that's one of your 3 slots if you had a light load.
Well, the question was, when do you pick your load?
Yeah.
You pick your load beforehand, so you guys would theoretically have already picked your load.
Yeah.
So go
We're
ahead.
just
So
Go
like
ahead
right
and-
now,
yeah.
let's all
decide
say
right now. Right now it's
Yeah,
fine.
so go ahead and pick
Yeah,
it now.
well, I'm going with light. But I was wondering if there's like an object or something I can to throw at him that wouldn't kill him.
Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, what do you think it
Like
could be?
just like anything slightly dense that's anywhere like a paperweight or something.
I have a
There's an item. There's an option for like you see the plus at the bottom is where you can like choose something else.
Yeah.
So you can technically fill in as long as GM's like okay with it.
Oh, are you asking if there's like something in the office?
Yeah, like something, or like I don't think I would have any blunt object
a-
on me.
Roll
As
a
a
roll a
dude.
roll a 1 dice fortune roll.
1 dice fortune.
If you succeed, then there's a blunt object there that you could throw.
Nope.
Nope, there's not.
How unlucky! There are no blunt objects in
Damn
the
it.
entire room.
I
You
have
can. Go ahead.
I have a question. I have
Yeah.
something. I don't know what these items are. Do I just make up what I think they are?
Yeah, more or
Yeah,
less.
basically.
Like a fine lightning hook?
Yeah, so that's like that would be like it's like a weapon and like a thing that they use to like wrangle ghosts.
Got you.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do something with the guy running away, and I'm gonna do a flashback.
All right.
Um,
Nice.
because in getting to this room, despite being tipsy, he still loves tinkering with things and knows that this is a dicey spot, and so he would have set up and tinkered a tripwire in the hallway so that
so to do this inconspicuously, and like this is like a very specific one, so I'm gonna make it a 2 stress flashback.
yeah,
so,
totally.
So here's the another mechanic for John and Marissa is the flashback mechanic. So this is like the point in like the heist movie where like something happens and it like flashes back to one of the characters like doing something beforehand to like prepare for this situation. And depending on how specific the flashback is, it costs either 0, 1, or 2 stress to do. So John is talking about rigging up a tripwire. And so, because that is like a very specific thing, I'm going to say it costs 2 stress to do, and now he gets to retroactively roll a tinker check to be able to have set that up properly.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So before we got into the study,
Mhm.
like down the hall, essentially,
Right.
he would set up a little tripwire that like a weird little pulley thing that if somebody were to run over it.
Yeah. So go
would
ahead
just-
and roll a tinker check for me.
How about those positions?
This is we'll say this is controlled. Because no one has discovered you yet, so like if you fail, there's like no real consequence.
Okay.
It's just, is it there or not?
Nice. No bonus dice. Do I want bonus dice?
Not yet.
It's up to you.
I believe in you.
Let's au natural.
There's the 6.
Okay.
All right.
So
Yeah,
so,
it's the perfect tripwire. He's drunk,
Yeah.
but he's good with his hands.
So we flash back to the present as the guy kind of like turns to run to alert people, and he like trips and falls on his face.
Yeah. And that gives Tips time to like run up to and catch up to him, and then just kind of like, I don't know,
Help
sit
him
on
down
him.
or something.
Yeah, just sit on him.
You
Just-
gotta watch
Okay.
where you go, and when you climb up you go walk down various halls, you know?
Yeah, so you like go over and you like sit on this dude, and there's another dude next to you, and he's just like, what is going on here? I do say, and there's like one of
this
his
is a
friends,
wild
like,
party, right, man?
one of his friends is knocked out, and the other one's like on the ground, kind of like squirming under you.
Look, do you want to wrestle? Wrestle?
What is that exactly? Hold on.
So,
Um,
where do we go from here, friends?
I will let you know if I have something in a difference. I don't know what a manacle is, so
A manacle's like handcuffs, basically.
Yeah,
Cool, that's
so
what I
I'm
thought.
I'm gonna grab some cloth, like a
Yeah.
I don't know, off of like a side table, like a little napkin or a bunch of napkins, and just like gag this dude that I'm sitting on.
Make
So-
a luck fortune roll, 1 dice
Of
fortune
course.
roll, the same way that
Let's see if there's anything in the hallway.
you stuff part of
it's
your
not
shirt.
it's not so much is there stuff in the hallway, it's is there like what you're looking for in the hallway.
Am I lucky enough for cloth?
Is there? Maybe,
Nope.
yeah.
No, I'm not.
No, but I mean, you can like have had cloth with you if you want to mark it off on your item sheet.
I
or
will
something.
absolutely do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That'll be one of my items.
Okay.
And I will come over with my manacles and chain and begin to basically just kind of bind the guy up so we can like
Well, like,
lock him around
What are you
like
doing?
something.
What are you doing with this one guy that's left?
So, can
Yeah.
I
Yeah, go ahead.
can I use ghost power?
I mean, if you would like.
I
What
don't
would you-
know
what would you-
ghost-
Yeah,
can
what would
do.
you what are you thinking you want to do?
I want.
It's
I
pretty
don't know, can ghosts possess people?
not at the level that y'all are at
Correct.
the moment.
Okay. What can they do? Because that's kind of my thing.
It's like it's pretty open ended. You can like you can like using magic is like pretty loose, like as far as like what it can do. There's like certain high level stuff that like commanding a ghost to possess someone like generally like takes like a ritual, like it's like a very like powerful thing. But like you can like you could like push someone or
Can I
like
can I scare him? So
yeah,
that he, like,
totally.
freaks out and maybe like can I use it to cause mass chaos at the rest of the party so that we can get out without being caught?
You absolutely
Hell
can
yes.
do that.
That is the best use for that.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
should. And you should.
You're making John so proud right now.
This is the very best thing about this game.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay,
I'm
so
down.
you want to roll in a this would be like an attune roll.
Yeah. I wouldn't have to use a special ability for this, right?
No,
No.
Okay.
this is just
first-
like attuning to. Well, actually, yeah. Like you could use your compel to like.
And what
to-
is it?
So it's like you could like compel something to follow like a simple command. And so like if you like compel a ghost to say like cause chaos, then like, you know, or like fuck shit up, then that's totally a thing.
Mostly I just want him to like just do a haunting. Just start.
Go do a haunt.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just,
Go do the haunts.
Mhm.
just do haunt
Yeah.
things.
Totally.
So
Okay,
that's like that's an attune roll.
Yeah.
yeah, is
that
that
would be a roll.
how is that different from compel?
Compel is a special ability, so it's on that list, like underneath your
Yeah, it says
harm and
it'll
coin.
obey a command, but attune just says attune to the spirits and ghost field.
Mhm.
Right.
So in the same way of like we were saying earlier, like when you, depending on how you're doing a thing or what you're doing,
Mhm.
then one of those roles is used. And so like what you're doing is talking to a ghost to tell it to like do a thing to go scare everybody. Talking to a ghost is like, okay, you attune for that, that
Okay.
kind of thing. Similar to the way
so-
like, oh, I want to ask this guy for some
Oh.
info. That's
Yeah,
consort,
so-
or like
so-
I want to convince him to do something. That's sway.
So-
that
So
kind of
the compel isn't like a separate action. It's just
no,
part
it's
of the
it's
attune?
yeah.
Mhm.
So
It's just an
compel
ability.
using the compel ability is what allow like having the compel ability is what allows you to make the attune roll to make the ghost do what you want to do.
Got you. Okay. I'm gonna do that.
And then does compel cost stress? Let me check.
I don't think so,
Think so?
It
because I did it all over the place.
Yeah,
but
I don't
did
think it
stress
does.
No, it doesn't. You're good. Yeah, you're good.
Um,
So
it says I'm not terrified, but my allies
Right.
might be.
it's true.
Yeah, ghosts are spooky.
We'll
Those
have
are
to
spooky as shit.
we'll have to see how you do on your roll.
Okay.
So
got it.
so here you're gonna roll, and this is a risky standard roll.
Okay.
And
Can I?
if you would like to, so here's what you can do. You can either push yourself and take 2 stress to take an additional die, bonus die to roll, or I'm gonna offer you a devil's bargain here.
Okay.
So the devil's bargain is that you can get an extra die to allow for your compel roll, but it might attract the attention of the spirit wardens, which are the ghost police. So you can choose to, if you want a bonus die, you can choose either my devil's bargain, which is it attracts supernatural attention, or you can push yourself for 2 die for a bonus die, whichever you would like to do.
I feel like I want to know what ghost police are, so I kind of want to try that.
Hell yeah.
Oh, boy.
Absolutely.
Oh, boy.
Marissa, you're
100%.
gonna fit in so well with this group.
I don't know what ghost police are, but it sounds intriguing.
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
All
All
right.
right, so it's risky, standard,
Mm-hmm.
and then I get 1 bonus die.
Correct. Let's
Yes.
see how it goes.
All right.
Oh shit! All right.
Close enough.
Here we go.
So what does it look like when you attune? What does your character do?
So, my character is kind of weird in from what I view him as. In my mindscape of how he has to communicate with ghosts, he has to. There has to be some kind of blood drawing from himself to kind of get that. He does blood magic as his vice. So,
Dope.
so I figure
Here for
what I
it.
yeah.
Interesting.
So I figured it'll just be something very like, kind of like subtle. I'll just like kind of roll up my sleeve and like, just scratch my skin or something like that. And just kind of like use the power to like call to the spirit world and just say haunt.
Okay. So here's
Please.
so here's what happens. We see you make a cut, and we see like a little bit of blood begin to pool, and we see a drop of blood drip from your wrist, and we like get like the like really close up shot of like the drop of blood as it falls to the ground, and the instant that it hits the ground, the color palette of the entire scene inverts and like goes like a weird like bluish color. And we get our first kind of view in this like scene of the ghost field and what that looks like, and it looks like this weird sort of like nega version of reality. And we see everyone like in this scene, everyone is kind of like frozen in time, and we see like sort of like white like ribbons sort of like coalesce around you, Flay, and they like kind of like coalesce into like this spirit that like floats around you, and we hear haunt coming from you, like the command like in the background with like all sorts of like cool reverb and distortion all over it, and the spirit kind of swirls around you and disperses. And
Sweet.
then we cut back into the real world, where the consequence of this, we see the spirit sort of like manifests itself in physical form, which like terrifies everyone, including your party members. And you guys are all like terrified to the point where you like cannot move. And so here I want to bring up another thing that you can do, which is resisting consequence. So I've given you the consequence of your party is like terrified and like something's gonna have to happen to snap them out of this fear. If you would like, you can resist the consequence, and the way that you do that is you would roll. Where's the resistance?
It's
the title.
So you
resolve or prowess.
So you resist with a specific like main category. So like because this wasn't a tune roll, you would resist with resolve, meaning that you would click on resolve and you would roll whatever the most dots you have in it. So you would roll 2d6, and the way that this works is you would take 6 minus the highest result in stress to resist.
I'm just throwing so it's out there so we can see it.
So you can see like in this example, because he got a 3 on this two dice resistance, he would take 3 stress, but he would resist this consequence. So
Okay.
like so like if you wanted to do that, you can like take however much stress you end up taking, and then your friends won't be feared.
Okay. I mean, I can do that. I feel like maybe I'm not so good at this, and I maybe am
Cut a little deeper.
stressing myself out a lot and freak out.
Totally.
And just say, please guys, don't snap out of it. It's okay.
Yeah.
We're all friends.
It's just my ghost. It's just my ghost.
It's just a ghost. This is still a cool party.
All right. So I have to click resolve.
Yeah. So click on resolve.
And it says no bonus dice.
No bonus die.
There's
Right?
no. We'll tell you if there is.
What?
We'll tell you if there ever would be.
Okay.
Someone would.
Okay.
Hey.
So you take 2 stress,
Okay.
because it's 6 minus the highest result. So mark those 2 stress down, and now you as the ghost manifests, like, because like there's this moment where like everyone is kind of like time kind of stops forever, and everyone's like, oh shit, and you're kind of like, no guys, it's fine, like it's just my ghost friend, trust me.
It's just my ghost.
and your friends are not supernaturally feared.
Oh, well, if it's just that, yeah, of course, totally.
Sure,
And
I
so-
trust you on that.
Oh,
And
one
so-
of those? My bad.
And then we see the ghost float up through the ceiling and float out of frame. We then cut to another place, another building, like like kind of like far away, and we see a room full of like spirit talismans and charms and stuff like that, like hanging on the walls and from the ceiling, like all over the place. And we see a figure in like all black, wearing a mask, kind of like sitting in the middle of the room with their like legs crossed in like a meditative trance. And we see their like head kind of down as they're kind of like slowly like muttering a chant to themselves. And we see them stop the chant and like raise their head a little bit. And then we cut again, and we cut to the upstairs of the party. So we see like nobles kind of like, talking and like, whatever. And I'll let you do this, Marissa. What does your ghost do to start fucking shit up?
Oh God.
I don't want to have all the fun here.
No.
Seriously.
I really want him to be. So are ghosts in this world? Ghosts are dead people, or are they like?
They're spirits. Yeah.
Okay. I definitely want to do that whole that cheesy thing where like he's just kind of walking around looking like a normal dude, and then like takes a drink, and like all the like liquid sprays from like his wounds because he was stabbed to death or something.
Jeez. All
Um,
right.
Just got real.
Yeah.
Totally.
and
So-
it just scares the crap out of everyone.
Yeah, so we see that, and like that happens, and everyone is like, oh, like we get like gasps, and like, you know, the band stops playing, and like all of that, and we then cut back down to the bottom of the like underneath in the basement. I can't fucking use words today, apparently.
Gotcha.
all
We
good.
we cut back to where you guys are, and we kind of hear all of the chaos starting to happen, but like muted and like upstairs. So
Whoa, hey, sounds like an emergency up there.
Hey,
Uh-oh. We should get the fuck out of here.
I'm gonna look over to our sneaky boy and me as player to player. John, do you have the ability to have sleep or trance powder on your chart on your items?
I do.
One of the I was asking to Blad. I'm sorry.
No.
You don't.
Ah.
All right, then.
Well, I can have it. What?
Yeah. I was gonna say someone should just sleep this other dude. Is my thought.
Oh yeah, pocket sand. Okay.
Yeah, pocket sand him.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll have a
we can-
bandolier of alchemicals, one of which includes pocket sand, aka trans powder.
yep.
Great. So I finished tying the gag, like the handkerchief, like through the guy who's on the floor, like over his mouth, and then like
Mhm.
tie his hands together.
Yeah.
And then the other guy like is hearing the commotion, and Tips gets up and he's like, "Okay, let's get this over with. Hey, over here! Ha! Pocket sand, pocket sand."
Pocket sand.
All right.
Uh,
What would you like to roll?
I imagine that would be a finesse.
Okay. Yeah, totally.
Seems good.
Because I want to distract him to get him to look in a certain direction and
Right.
then throw dust in his face.
Yeah, so like the finesse is like you like dexterously like doing all of that in like one fell swoop type thing. Yeah, totally.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. This is
Right. I walk over to him. I'm like, "Want to know about these fingertips? They're very weird, right? It's because they're covered in sand."
so I think this is back. You're back in a just a risky situation, not a desperate situation, because of the commotion that's been going on upstairs. Like there is more immediate like threat present. So if
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
fail at this, the consequences won't be that dire.
Cool. And I'm gonna stress to just make sure this is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, no problem.
Got him.
So yeah, so the way that you just described it, exactly
Mhm.
how it happens. And the guy is just like, what, boom, oh, and he like slumps over.
Thud, and another vase falls off of a pedestal.
so I have a question then. Duke, this whole time while like all of this crazy shit's been going on, what have you been up to?
Just like he's been taking in all the shit that's been happening. It wasn't supposed to go this way. His
Right.
friends weren't supposed to beat up this butler he's known since he was a kid.
Right. Yeah, I
Oh,
imagine
no.
I imagine that like as a lurk, you're like so used to just like when you've done these kind of scores in the past, and maybe it's like been working with these guys or like working in the past, like you're used to like getting in, getting out, and like everyone's like none the wiser. So this
Yeah.
is
Like he's able to talk himself out of this stuff, but it just went to violence already.
yeah.
He
Yep.
wasn't expecting that. Now he doesn't know what to do, so he's just looking around. He's like, "How can we just get out without being unseen?" Now there's
Right.
shit going upstairs.
Yeah.
We should just
Relax. We'll get ourselves out of here. It doesn't really matter. Let's just walk upstairs. No, freak out with everybody else about the ghosts,
Mhm.
and we'll talk it all over later. We'll talk to a couple people. We'll get it cool. Meanwhile, you work on getting us out of here without people directly noticing us.
Yeah, that's a good idea, friend. Let's do that. Follow me, real quiet, like. Let's
I'm-
go.
I am probably sobbing, so I will try to not.
It's okay, Faye. Everything is fine. We're gonna be fine.
Yeah,
No,
Tips pats Camille's shoulder and is like, "It'll be okay."
This is not the worst.
You get like
Door.
there's
Okay.
when Tips pats you on the shoulder, he leaves behind some fingerprints of trans powder on your shoulder.
Right. Like imagine it's in Duskvol they call it a different thing, but it's like he's got Cheeto dust all the time. and so like there's just like weird orange on your shoulder now.
Oh, what's this? And then I just fall asleep.
Don't you shouldn't put that near your mouth.
Got a little
Uh,
woozy.
You'll learn about that in university, I think.
Right. So
when you really want to party.
When you're
so this is a good opportunity to introduce another mechanic, which is a group roll. So so if you guys would like, as you guys are leaving, you can all take different actions to all leave if you would like to, or you can engage in what is called a group action. So the way that group actions work is everyone rolls the same thing. Someone chooses to be the leader of the group action, and everyone rolls the same thing. And when it's a group action, everybody gets to use the highest result. So like, let's say that you wanted to do like a group, like for instance, in this instance, like a group prowl to like sneak away from the scene. If Sam rolled a 1, like 2 1s or whatever on his prowl, then like, and like John rolls a 6, then like Sam's 1s won't matter because the 6 will cover everybody. The downside to this is that for everyone who fails the roll, whoever is in the lead takes a stress. So like, let's say that like, again, for this example, like John leads like a group prowl, for instance, and like everybody fails except for John, then you guys all get to succeed in like getting out of there as a group, but John would take 3 stress because there were 3 failures.
Okay.
So not that that's exactly what you guys want to do, but that's like an option for the mechanic.
I mean, I think it would make sense. We have to get out of the
That makes the
basement,
best
right?
out. Yeah.
So how about we group prowl to just see if we can like go back upstairs and then join into the commotion,
Right.
so to speak,
Yeah.
and like not have any attention drawn.
Yeah, totally.
I gotta make a phone call, so you guys want to take care of that for me.
Alright.
Hit your. Are we gonna do a prowl then?
Yeah, I can
Yes.
I can roll for him.
Oh, you can roll for.
Uh,
okay.
So just let me.
Who wants
Yeah,
to
do that, do that.
who wants to lead it?
I assume John has points. I assume John DeBlat has points in prowls. So
I mean, it doesn't-
that doesn't matter for the leader.
Okay.
Picking the leader is essentially just like who's
Alright.
going to take all
That's
the
fair.
stress if we fuck
Who-
up.
I also feel Duke has not taken any stress yet. So
That's true. I don't want.
I also volunteer him as tribute.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Alright.
that's fine. Okay, so I'll roll the prowl for him.
Yeah.
And so everybody, we're gonna roll a group prowl. So everybody, roll your prowl. This is back down to a risky thing. So it's
Mhm.
risky standard. And if you guys want to pick up bonus die or whatever, you are welcome to do so.
no, I'm just gonna.
Nope, he can just have some stress.
Yeah, KO doesn't stress himself over being sneaky.
Okay.
Button pressed.
All right.
Oh no. Okay.
Uh-oh. Did everybody fail? No, we succeeded with a consequence.
One person.
We got the highest.
John
The highest we got is a 4.
Yeah,
Right.
that's pretty bad. All right.
Yeah. Okay. So Langdon Duke takes 3 stress, this is perfect. So what does it look like as the group of you all kind of like each of you, we kind of like get like a vignette of like a montage of everyone kind of like trying to like sneak back and sneak up and sneak around. What is everybody kind of like as we like cut to each character as you guys are trying to like kind of like mingle in with the crowd and be like, oh my god, a ghost, how spooky, and like leave. What does everybody see? Or what does everybody look like as we like cut to them?
Tips immediately just grabs a glass like from a tray and is like, whoa. Like,
Okay.
was here the whole time.
Yeah. Okay. KO, what do you look like?
KO comes kind of gives that like idea of that he like burst out of the basement as if he was like talking to someone down there and like giving like an autograph or something. It's just like, oh my god, this place is haunted. What's going on here? We need to get everybody out. Who's in charge of this joint?
Yeah. And nice. So and then we cut over and Duke, what do you look like as you're trying to like
So
I mean,
he's-
like you're the only one that actually like is professional about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Duke is gonna try to be like sneaky, like sneaking against the wall, but then like a fucking chandelier falls right in front of him. He just screams like, "Ah!"
Nice.
Chandelier falls right in front of his.
Yeah, cool. And then you kind of like sneak around and like go back into the crowd. And then Flay, like what as we cut to you.
I am just like I am besides myself. I am so unhappy that I screwed up the whole party and everyone hates me and the whole
Yeah.
thing is ruined and everything was supposed to be going great and we were doing so well.
Hey, now's not the time to
Yeah,
panic.
and
Now's the
you're
time
like-
to get out of here before we get attacked by that ghost that showed up out of the blue. Let's go, and just kind of pushes him.
And
Yeah.
and so here's what happens. Here's the consequence. So we kind of like linger Flay with you for a second, and you're like kind of like panicking and you're all upset, and we get like kind of a camera shot of you from like over your shoulder, and we see a hand on your shoulder, and we hear, what's your guy's name? Oh, Camille, don't worry, it's gonna be okay. And the camera pans around, and we see Quellen. So this is the part where I get to ask you, what is your beef with Quellen, right? Because they're your enemy, right?
Oh God, yes. So I would assume in my class we are both top of the class, but she is. I'm assuming it's a she. I'm gonna call her a she.
Yeah, that's fine.
She is smarter and better at school. So like, I would say like if she's like the valedictorian and I'm like the salutatorian, you know, and I
Right.
like can't live up to her, and she knows it. She just knows she's more in control and better at all of this stuff than I am.
Right. And so yeah, so you like kind of like turn to like see this hand on your shoulder, and you see Quellen, and she's like dressed up in like noble finery, and she's got her hair up in like this like intricate kind of like braid bun thing, and she says, what are you doing in a place like this, Camille?
What are you doing here? I could ask you the same question.
Oh, my family has known this family for a long time.
Oh. No, I am.
Okay. Yeah, and like all this like commotion, and she says, it seems that quite a commotion has happened here. I wonder what happened. I wonder what caused that.
I don't know. You seem pretty calm.
I like to always remain in control of the situation.
I assume this is your rival, right?
Yeah.
What's the background of the rival?
Oh, she's just the better student.
Okay.
And,
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was on from the list of like friends be enemies or anything.
It is. Yeah.
it is.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
person a student.
Yeah.
She's a witch.
Yeah.
She's a witch.
Yeah, but like
Okay.
but like you wouldn't know that, Kaya.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm just looking because
Yeah, it's just teen drama.
Yeah,
That's fine.
it's
I'm fine with
totally
that.
it totally
Teen
is
drama's
like
so good though.
yeah, and
It is.
this scene totally is like straight out of like a teen drama. Like, oh,
Right?
like what
It's
are you
spooky
doing?
Riverdale, man.
What are you doing
Yeah.
at this party? Yeah, suddenly, coming to the CW this fall. Blades in the
That's
Dark.
right.
Blades in the Dark.
It's the Ghost Sea.
Yeah.
I would watch that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to regain my composure and just act completely back in control of myself,
Mhm.
and just straighten out my suit jacket and just be like, well, I'm also a guest here of my good friend. I'm sorry, what was your character's name again?
You're muted,
What's-
John.
You're muted, John.
What's your What's your
Vlad,
name?
what's your character's
It's
actual name?
Duke.
Duke.
Still
Langdon.
Langdon. Langdon is your real name, like not your. So
Yeah.
I would call him that. Langdon, and he has invited me here because I am also very rich and well-to-do.
And very cool and very legal.
Very belonging here.
What would you like to roll to make your deception check here?
Oh God, this is gonna go badly in any way. Can I roll consort?
Yeah, totally.
Or-
Yeah,
This
you
would
can.
be a consort option because it's someone you know.
Okay. All right, I'll try. I'll do that.
Yeah, so you can like roll a consort with the goal of like trying to like convince Kellen that like you're supposed to be here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And is this? What's the position?
This is risky.
Okay.
This is standard.
Standard. Okay.
So, most rolls will be.
I got a 3.
Okay, so you succeed, but there's a consequence. And so I think she kind of like she eyes you suspiciously, and she says, I did not know that you had friends in such high places. And she eyes you, and Camille might not notice this, but I'm gonna tell you, the player, that she believes you, but she's also like totally in on like kind of like onto the fact that like all of this chaos is caused by you, like all of the like fuckery with the ghosts and stuff, because like you guys know that each other are whispers, I would assume, right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we would probably know. Yeah, I think we're
Yeah.
part of like
So
Similar,
so she
Right, you're
gives
part of
you
the after school club.
yeah.
she
The
so
whisper
she
after schools.
so she gives you the look of like, you know, like and she's saying like, oh yes, I didn't know that you had such well-to-do friends, but she's totally giving you that look of like, this is all your fucking fault, isn't it?
And I'm just gonna be like, well, there's a lot you don't know about me. And then I'm just gonna walk off into the chaos.
Hell yeah.
Right into the party of people going like, oh shit, oh fuck.
Yeah.
There's ghosts. This place is
and
haunted.
it's like peak teen. This whole scene is like peak teen drama, right? Because it's like all this crazy shit, like everyone's like scared and there's chaos everywhere, but then like all of it kind of like fades into the wayside, and it's just like this scene of the two of you talking.
Yes.
And like the
It's
focus
just
is on
everyone
it.
screaming
Yeah.
around us.
Yeah. Right at the end of it, the camera kind of pans out a little wider,
Yeah.
and you see somebody like falling down the stairs. Wilhelm scream happens, like
Totally.
like things are flying across the room.
Like
That's
things, things are flying across the room, and then like as it pans out a little bit more, we see Tips like drinking from a wine
Yeah.
glass. Okay.
It's like another one of these parties. Yeah.
So we get like this kind of like montage, and like as you kind of like vanish in the crowd, we get like, you know, the camera like lingers on Quellen for a little bit in that like, this character is gonna come back kind of way. And we cut to you guys are kind of like outside of the like main entrance of the mansion. You guys like reconvene, and you are like on the stairs. The opening of it is like a big like mansion front. So there's like these big doors, and like there are like columns, and then there's like a porch with like a bunch of like marble steps, because like obviously there fucking is. And you guys make it onto the steps, and you guys all reconvene. Do you guys like say anything or?
So we're
On
outside
the way
house.
on the way out in the chaos,
Mhm.
I think Tips would be like pocketing things like nice silverware and like some like, I don't know, not diamonds, but like, I don't know, little like tchotchkes and like other things
Okay.
just to take them.
Yeah, you want to go ahead and make a roll.
I'm gonna try and finesse.
Okay. This is,
Risky standard.
yeah. This is just like a kind of like a
There's mayhem, so let's just see if I can get some shit.
yeah.
And once again, I will stress to push myself.
Attaboy.
That's what you do here.
Yeah. Hell
I've,
yeah.
I've taught you so well.
This is what you do in this game.
So okay, so you succeed but with a consequence. So what is this? We like cut to like we cut to the outside, and like we probably follow Flay. We like follow you out there because we just kind of like left you, and we see like KO and Duke out there, and you guys kind of like reconvene, and we get like that moment where you're like, where's Tips? And we cut to Tips, and what does the scene look like, John?
He's like kind of meandering. Like lots of people are running past him back and forth around. Like butlers kind of doing their thing, and he's just kind of like strolling with a wine glass like through the house, and it's kind of just like, oh, that looks pretty nice, and he like pockets something, and they're like, oh, hey, there's a weird little, I don't know, like a book, and he like grabs that and shoves it in like a coat pocket, and like most people aren't really paying attention, but like once he gets outside, he's gotten enough things that his pockets are kind of like bulging a little bit, like
Right.
very clearly stuff is just there, and it's like, you know, he's walking out of the house with like this nice wine glass, and he's like, I'll
Right.
take this
Yeah,
too.
yeah, totally. And so you come out, and so here's the consequence. And you can choose to resist this if you want. The consequence is that in doing so, like doing all of that stuff, it takes you extra time, and like everyone's like the rest of the gang has to wait for you for a second, which gives just enough time to fill in this clock that I've had in the background of the spirit warden showing up.
Oh
boy.
my.
Because you're currently one tick away. So your consequences, I'm gonna fill in that last tick, and the spirit wardens are gonna show up before you've gotten a chance to exit.
We've
the scene.
lingered a little too long,
Yeah,
and now the ghost cops are here.
yeah. So is that's cool with you,
Um,
or would you like to resist that?
I got
John, you know what
I
you
got
want to do.
three
You know what
stra-
the answer is here.
I mean, absolutely.
I mean, it's up to you, but Marissa did say she wanted to see ghost cops.
Yeah, I also want to see ghost
Yeah,
cops.
I think the answer is to see the ghost cops.
Hell yeah.
All right. So yeah. So the way it plays out to just kind of like get the like order of events like in order, is like the three of you are out there, and we're like, where's Tip? And we get the scene of him like going through and like, you know, kind of like swaying back and forth, drinking from this fancy wine glass, like pocketing all these things, and his pockets are bulging as he comes out, and he
There's
meets
like
up with
some
the rest of you.
chains like kind of falling at like pocket watch chains, and like he's wearing extra rings that he like didn't have before.
And in that moment we kind of get a shot that is like looking at the characters from the roadway, like the road, the cobblestone road that is like, you know, before the entrance to the manor, and we see pulling up with we see a giant carriage pulling up, pulled by two giant goats. Because fun fact, carriages in Duskvol are operated by goats and not by horses, which is a thing I didn't know in our first campaign, but I know now.
Nice.
Interesting.
Yeah,
that makes
like,
the party chariot that much better.
Yeah, I know.
Festivity chariot.
Festivity chariot.
At the end of this one shot before you guys leave, I'm gonna make Sam and John tell the festivity chariot story.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
But for now, yeah. So we see like these two big kind of like burly goats in this like kind of like black like armor, kind of like pulling this giant thing, and to get a visual of like what this looks like, I want you all to, if you remember the magic card Geist Catcher's rig.
Yes.
Nice.
If you don't, then just Google that right quick to get a sense of like what this looks like.
Hold on.
It's got like these big kind of like columns that are like lit with like ectoplasm on it, and like, you know, it's like kind of like crackling with energy.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, and so Geist Catcher's rig pulls up, and off of it, like it's being driven by a person, all in black, and we can see that it's a woman of some of like, you know, just I can't talk, guys, tonight. Like a Akarosi woman, and she's got like a hood on, and there's a mask that is like kind of like up as she's driving this thing, and as she brings it to a stop, we see her pull the mask down, and we recognize it as the mask of the person in the room full of spirit bane charms and everything earlier. And we see her climb down, and we see like 3 more of these like masked figures getting off of the thing. And so like we see that, and the characters see that. And what do you guys do?
Keep walking.
Can we? I assume they're actual people. We can interact with them, correct?
They are actual people.
Cool. I would like to address them and say,
I would like to punch them.
No, I'm not gonna jump. No. We've got a thing for this. If you're ready, are you ready?
You
I
have
would
a
like
thing
to
for
address them. Yes, I do. So, oh no, they're not necessarily frightened though. Shoot, I didn't think about that. Okay.
Yeah, no,
Well,
not at all.
Shoot, I was thinking my plan was, but still, I'd like to address them and be like, it's a good thing you guys is here. There's a ghost somewhere in there. We need to get out. They ruined the party and everything's a mess. Can you do us a big favor, get in there and save the day for everybody else, like I know you guys are gonna do? And I would like to command them.
You aren't really in a position where you can like command them right now, if I'm being honest.
Okay. Okay.
So
Yeah, they're the cops.
yeah. Yeah. So you like you go up and you say that, and the person that you're talking to is like a bit bigger and like bulkier than like the woman that we saw driving the cart.
Yeah.
And you hear from behind the mask, you hear like a deep voice say, "Don't worry, citizen. We're here to take care of it. Just if you could just stand over there and not go anywhere. We need to keep the premises secure, and we need nobody to leave."
Would I be in a position to sway them?
What would you like to sway them to do?
I'd like to be like, citizen, you know who I am? I'm KO. I know exactly what you're here for. I will gladly get out of your way. You get in there and do your thing, and we'll make sure we'll do you a good. We'll keep everybody else away too. We'll do our best to keep them out. How about that? And I want to sway them to kind of focus their attention elsewhere off of us.
You can do that. This is a
Catch me outside. How about that?
Indeed.
this is a risky role, and you're going to have limited effect.
I'm okay with that.
So the reason you're having limited effect is because you guys are like tiers. Like if we think of like the tier system, y'all are like
tier 2 or 3.
Y'all are like tier 0, and Spirit Wardens are tier 4.
Yeah,
so,
no, that's fine. I just want enough of. I just want them to kind of like. Okay,
like,
there was just some weird guys trying to address us.
This is like a if you get a 6, he'll think about it type of situation.
That's fine. I'll take that gamble.
Yeah, we'll talk. I'll tell you guys about tiers a little bit later, John and Marissa.
And I would also like to push myself for this way.
Okay.
Jeez.
Take that risky limited, baby. Boom. I only threw 1. Damn it.
What was it to?
There's my other one.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, that's command. So you had how many in your pushing?
I have 1 in sway. It was supposed to be 2.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah. So yeah. So you
roll a second 1 dice way.
No, he rolled a command, which was also 1 die. So we'll take that as the second die.
Okay.
Yeah. So he rolled a 5, and then he rolled a 6.
The 6. It's just yeah.
And so he says sorry, just getting back into it, what do you say to him?
Yeah. It's like I'm no average citizen. I'm KO. I'm the best fighter in the world. I'll tell you what. I'll do you a favor. We'll take care of all the rest of the people outside and the people running out. You get in there and take care of the ghost, and you pay no attention to anybody out here. We'll take care of it.
And he says, he like, you hear him through the mask say like, understood. If you have any sort of skills with managing and helping contain the people, that would be a welcome thing. You can help my assistant over there. And he says, be safe, citizen. And we see him reach for his belt and pull out a thing, and we see him like flick it open, and we see a lightning hook, which is like a big sort of like a hook like blunt like hooked thing, and as he like kind of like flips it out like kind of like a baton, it like crackles with electroplasmic like the like bluish glow of electroplasmic electricity. And you see one of his companions, the another man, kind of like pull two of them off of his back, and the two of them go, and there's just now the one that you have to deal with instead of the three. And she looks to you and she says, "All right, let's get together and form a perimeter and try to contain these people as much as we can, I guess."
You got it, sir. I will take my crew of strong people handlers and we'll head that way and try to gather everybody across the street into a different location.
If you could just go ahead and gather everyone, but please don't leave the grounds. That would be ideal.
Absolutely, sir. Whatever you say, and he'll immediately just start turning like, "Hey, everybody," and just start waving people on and trying to herd people the best he can.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing while this exchange is happening?
Run away! They're
Drinking.
focused on me.
I have a spirit mask and a lightning hook, so I assume I can pretend I am one of them.
You do have access to those things, but you don't have like their uniform. Exactly. Yeah.
So what would a spirit mask come in handy for otherwise?
I think what I generally use spirit masks for is like that means that like ghosts can't like harm you or possess you in any way.
Okay.
It kind of like it's like a
That's a good
tinfoil hat.
defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm happy with just kind of leaving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The idea being Colin has like volunteered himself as like the person who's paying attention to kind of be like, look at this this local hero doing a great thing and helping out at the party, and the actual thing is gone, and that's we're worrying about that later.
Okay, so do you guys want to try to like make a roll to like kind of like inconspicuously leave while Colin's kind of like giving you this opportunity?
Sure.
I would like to tinker.
Go on.
I would like to tinker a smoke grenade and make a big ol' smoke cloud to hide our escape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So like you're doing that like right at this moment, or you're like
Did you flash back and
like,
have one
flashing
made,
back
John?
to-
Yeah, so I will flash back to make a smoke grenade,
Okay.
and then, depending on how that goes, potentially use the smoke grenade.
I'm gonna just flip open to the crafting section of my book real quick to
Yeah, please
to make
remind
sure
me.
that-
This is everything Eric did, and I have no idea how it works.
I want you
Yeah.
to know that if I open towards the back of the book, it the book
It
just
goes
like
right to it.
opens right to the crafting section because of raunchy
How
download.
God bless Machi.
So let me just find the right section of crafting. Here we go. Smoke bomb. So the way that crafting works is you oh, hold on, it's on the other page, I'm pretty sure. Here we go. So you roll your tinker, and you need to roll the tier of the thing that you're crafting. So the smoke bomb is a tier 2 invention. So you're tier 0 right now, which means that you would need to literally crit to be able to craft a smoke bomb. But since this is a one shot and fuck it, I'm gonna say go ahead and roll anyways.
Also, I have a special ability, Alchemist.
Mm-hmm.
When I invent or craft a creation with alchemical features. Would a smoke bomb have alchemical features?
I would think that it would. John.
I would assume it does. So
I
might
think
assume.
so.
hell yeah. So I
So you
will
get an
get plus
extra-
1 result to my roll.
Dope.
Um,
Yeah.
which is actually really helpful because I want to hit a result level, not have extra dice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So I have to.
You have to roll a 6,
Okay.
basically. But like I said, roll. We're gonna see what happens. And this is a 0 stress flashback, by the way. It's totally nice. It's like this is
Casual.
this is an example of a 0 stress flashback because it is totally reasonable that before tonight, Tips would have like had the foresight to make some smoke bombs.
Yeah.
Dope. So yeah,
For
so
our daring escape.
So you actually do get it. So if you had failed there, I was going to say, so like you, John the player, know that you failed, but Tips the character doesn't.
Right. Tips thinks he's way ahead of the game and has
Right.
2 smoke bombs.
But in this case, you actually are. Like you actually do
Mhm.
have smoke bombs, so you can do that.
Right. So as the ghost cops are going into the house, then Tips gathers everybody here and goes, "Great. Everybody look that way," and then throws the grenade over there, so that it's like kind of in between
Mhm.
the ghost cops and us, and it goes poof, and there's a huge cloud of smoke, and now we
Yeah.
pretty much are covered.
Right.
It's very hard to see through it, and they don't know where we are.
That's true. So if as you guys are trying to, if you guys are trying to exit the scene now, I'll say that everyone can take +1 die, or +1 effect.
Hell yeah.
To escaping. We'll say +1 die because like
Take the die. The effect is.
yeah. So as you guys are trying to escape, like whatever roll you decide to make to escape, everyone gets a bonus die for it because of the smoke bomb.
Yeah, I think at this point,
Everybody except Colin. Everybody except Colin leaves.
yeah, everybody walk away. And I guess if we have to roll something for that, I would roll a survey to just get a sense of like where the least conspicuous place is. Just like finding a quick and easy path out of the way.
Yeah, so you can roll
The hole in the hedges. So
you can roll a survey and take +1.
What about everyone else?
Yeah. How would the rest of you like to get away?
Oh no.
Oh
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
We'll get to that in a second.
Sure.
I want to get everyone's result first.
Do you want me to roll just in case, or?
Well, you're not trying to get away, right? So we'll cut back to you.
That's fine. I just want to make sure.
Is the car that they were driving abandoned at this point?
No, there's like one person who's like kind of back with the vehicle.
Just
Hell yes, Grand Theft Auto.
You're really thinking this through.
I don't know what I want to do. I guess I could just try to leave.
You could just walk away down an alley. No one would be none the wiser.
Well, unless I fail that.
Mm-hmm. You know.
That's always a possibility.
We can come back to you if you want to think about it. All right. Duke, what are you doing to get away? You're muted.
We're on mute.
You're still mute.
Muted.
Nope.
Mm-hmm. I think it's the headset, not Discord.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
We'll find out in a minute.
Oh, nope. Still muted. Oh no.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
I don't fucking... Alright.
The old unplug it and plug it back in trick gets him every time.
Yeah.
Alright, so Duke would use the advantage by the smoke bomb. Just to kind of like... Just edge out of the frame. Slowly.
You just want to prowl out of there.
Yeah.
You just he suddenly Homer in the hedges, just
Yeah.
like
Yeah. but into the smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. You can roll prowl and take +1 die.
Prowl and a risky, controlled, or desperate.
This is risky.
Risky. Effect standard.
Risky standard.
Yeah.
Risky standard. Bonus dice 1. Poop.
All right.
5.
Cool.
Nice.
There's a 4. There's a 5 though. That's good.
Yep. Camille, have you decided what you're going to do?
So I could be boring and try to leave.
It's true.
I'm
You
trying
have
to think
several
about,
ways to just walk away.
I know. Trying to think about what Camille would do.
Mm.
He would want to. I don't know. I think he would want to try to fix this, or do something stupid because he's young and foolish.
And because we're playing a one shot.
And because we're playing one shot, and that's fun.
Also, sorry, random
No,
quick
go ahead.
question. Does anyone have to hard stop at 10?
Closer to 10 is better for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I got my dinner is here. So
Okay.
So if we need to end, I can just also leave.
Well, so here's so,
and he gets up and walks away.
What happens, like, our kind of like final shot is like everyone kind of like leaving in their own ways, but we see from the spirit warden's wagon, the person who was like sticking behind, as everyone's kind of like leaving, we see the camera kind of pan out and we see that their gaze is following all of you, and that's the last thing that we see as we cut to credits
womp.
on our scene.
Mm.
The
The unintended consequence.
the fucking ghost police are coming after you guys.
You needed a
Get
second
right.
smoke grenade.
Get
But
right.
yeah, awesome, cool. You guys totally did it.
We
Nice.
did the thing.
Nice.
Nice.
Do you guys? Oh, do you want?
Noise,
Do you want the patented post-credit scene?
please.
Yes.
All right. So this is the thing that I like to do, Marissa. I like to give post-credit scenes to all of the sessions. So the credits roll and we see like all the stuff, and then we cut to the group of you, and we cut to you guys in your hideout, in your lair, talking to Carlos, who is the bounty hunter, who is your handler. And we don't get any audio for this. It's all kind of like we see you like talking to him, but it's one of those scenes where like and we see you like hand over the documents, and like he like kind of like thanks you and tips his hat to you and like gives you some gold, and you guys leave. And the score stirs ominously as he looks down and the camera pans down the document, and he lifts open the first page, and we see the face of a man who looks kind of older. He's wearing like he's got like gray hair. He's wearing a hat, and in the bottom underneath it says Silbern, and it cuts to credits. Cuts to black.
I love it. I love it. I like it.
So yeah, that's that.
The picture, is an older man with gray hair and a hat, and on top of that,
Is another hat, right?
On top of that hat is another hat.
Yep.
Nice.
Which for the context is Sam's character from the first
My old
campaign.
character.
So, anyways, that was that. Thank you guys for playing. Blades is so much fun, and I had a lot of fun playing with you guys.
As did we.
Yes, thank you.
It's just
Mhm.
Yeah, Marissa, you were great. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, you did
Thanks
great.
for having me.
You guys did
This was
awesome.
Yeah.
Anytime.
So I'm gonna go ahead and kick us off the
Bye,
internet
the
real
internet.
quick. So we'll say bye to everyone.
If
Have a
only
good
I could
night.
just say bye to the internet so
I-
easily.
You can do it right now. Bye.